This is Living in Woods in Florida, episode 7. Said I was going to show you a video of me doing some digging here. So, that's what I'm doing. I already put two more columns in. I skipped over the part where I had to cut through the roots and all that. That'll take too long. Yeah, just digging a hole as deep as I can up to my bicep. This place isn't perfectly square, but these logs are different sizes anyways, so I just eyeballed it, and it looks pretty square to me. I'm under the roots, so it's pretty easy digging now. I just keep cutting the walls, scoop out the sand. Shouldn't take too long. It says it's not going to rain today, but I definitely see some rain clouds coming. See what happens. Now this is the fattest log, the one I'm putting in this one. Hopefully it's wide enough. I think so. Yeah, I gotta get logs that are similar width. I'm just gonna lay them down on the ground here, around the cabin, on the ground in the middle. So like some planks or some boards. I'm laying on top of that, so we'll be up above the grass. Hopefully we can make all that level. Well, of course I can make it level instead of dig. The roof and the walls, I've been thinking about still. I might, I showed you that mud down at that pond. It's got grass mixed with mud in it. And I'm thinking that might be perfect to put on top of the roof and fill in the cracks between the logs. I only got a little bit of paracord, so I'm going to bring more out here and tie those logs together. Tie them really securely. I can't fully reach the top of these pillars unless I stand on top of my cooler. But I'm going to tie it wherever I need to on the pillar. Yeah, and it's just going to be a, triangular shaped roof. I don't like the idea of making a perfectly flat roof. It sounds like it'd get wet and sag and everything else, but if I make it triangular, put a tarp over it, put the mud in between the cracks first, and put the tarp over it, and then those logs should stay dry for a long time. The ones I picked were good enough. I can always get more. I can even cut a couple of these small ones down, as long as they're small enough. I don't want to, but I can if I have to. Almost done with this hole. Yeah, I watch a lot of these videos. You see a lot of stuff that's intelligent. I don't do any intelligent type of things. A lot of other stuff is easy, but you just need some tools. This is just something me and my friend did a long time ago at his brother's house. We just wanted to make a goat shed for his goats. And we just put some big fat logs in the ground like this. This hole's definitely deep enough. Alright, I'm going to place the log in there. Try to hold it easily in this part. Just look at that branch on the outside so it doesn't interfere with flooring. And then you just put a little bit of sand. And just shove it all down there because I won't reach the bottom. Just tap some sand down. You can always budget around. These aren't really all that strong. I mean, if you kick it, tip over, kick up a hole and all that. But if you just use some of that mud down there, yeah, that mud, pack that in there real good. That'll hold these together, and they won't blow down for, you know, until we get a really bad hurricane or a really rainy one, and it all rots. Fall apart at that point. But I'm not supposed to be building anything too permanent here anyways. So I just want it to kind of blend in and look just like the trees, so you don't really notice it. Even if they walk past it, maybe they won't notice. I cover it up with pine needles and things. Yeah, I know bugs get inside these wooden lodges when you make them. But you just fill the cracks in with the mud and spray it with Raid. Pest control. Not a problem. So there. I know I said I wasn't going to do any work. But I felt like mostly my legs were tired from walking. I felt like I could do a little bit of arm work today. I don't know if I'll clear any branches or not yet. Take a look. So, whew. Yeah, I'll get real sweaty out here. Sorry, I look a little gross sometimes. But hopefully you get a good view of this. Took a lot of work to dig these holes. I just used a piece of fiberglass, plastic or fiberglass, whatever it is, and I just use that as a shovel. You know, one end sharper, one end skinnier. It works pretty good. I just put the gloves on so I don't get too much sand on my hands. And yeah, this was the skinnier log. It was just as tall as the others, but I kept it, and yeah, you see it moving. It moves that much. I'm gonna pack that mud all around it, you know, a big old cone of mud around it. And then next I gotta get these other logs that I got and lay them around the perimeter. I think maybe I should do that before I make the roof, right? What do you think? Make the roof first. I think the roof would be steadier or more stable if I did the floorboard first. I don't necessarily have to do the floorboard, but I'm going to put the logs around it and then get the paracord out here. Every log on this is going to be fastened together with paracord very tightly. Yeah, I said it wasn't going to rain, and it's raining now. Don't mind my beer bottle, I just was using that to tilt the phone, to hold the phone up. So, yeah, just showing you a little bit more work that I'm up to. Short video this time. I'll keep you updated. Yeah, it's gonna rain, so have a good one. Hey, this is Living in the Woods in Florida. Still episode 7. I'm just gonna cut the videos together. Right now I'm walking the way I go to get home, or not to my home, but where my family lives. Oops, twist the camera, sorry. And yeah, I skipped over the part. I went out and I knew where there were some planks and a pellet, so I went and got that and I dragged it to my site. That's just the trail from me dragging it. Yeah, it wasn't nearly enough planks. I'm not sure if I'm going to use planks for the floorboard. I think I might use those boards from the hurricane shelter bathtub thing. So, oh yeah, there's a nice lizard. Yeah, they've got these big lizards, stripes out here. They're not like the ones that hang out at people's houses. Unless you've got a house like that, some people do. So yeah, this trail's not too bad. The sand here is really compact. There's a clearing right here. Not much of a clearing, but looks like someone maybe used to camp there. Yeah, walking through here is not as bad as walking along the road. Hurts your feet a lot more to walk on the concrete than on this. So glad I don't have to do too much of that anymore. And down here, I'm going to warn you, yeah, there's a truck. He got stuck in the mud. He's probably one of my neighbors, probably someone I know from work. I don't know whose truck that is, but I'll keep an eye out at work. I see someone in the same truck pulling. I'll ask him if he got stuck in the water out there. But yeah, he's got some pellets. Yeah, those must be his pellets. If he leaves them here after he leaves, I'll probably take them and use them for my thing. But yeah, he just used them to get out of the truck without getting wet. But yeah, that's part of off-roading. I'm sure if he does this a lot, he wasn't that pissed off. It's just typical. You just have to have a buddy with another vehicle and a winch. Hopefully he gets that out by tonight when I come back. If I saw him, I would try to help, but there's not much I can do to help. He needs a big vehicle. I'll try not to show his plates, but yeah, it's a GMC truck. Yeah, it's really fun here. I know some of you guys like to just come out and get a, you know, just come out here with your truck and enjoy some peace and quiet. Tons of ponds back here. There's got to be at least 8 ponds, at least 8 that I can get to. And I'll just keep showing you my typical daily walk. Yeah, it's not too hot out today. Got a lot of cloud coverage. Plenty of space to camp out here. No one will really bother you out here, not these days. I just wouldn't camp on the track or anywhere where anybody that really rides out here can see at a tent, because who wants to see a tent? I'd rather go back in the bush. Yeah, I did see some other person's footprints. I can see where he got out the truck and walked this way, and this is the direction of a neighborhood where I know quite a few people in it because I work at a store right next to it. Yeah, and there's these side trails. There's a trail over there with the power lines. It's not as sandy. I try to walk this way. Except at night because more spiders. There's a dragonfly. Yeah. I used to try to come out here, but usually most of us don't have the energy to go on how long hikes like this. That's what keeps it pretty secluded. I think there was other entrances, you know, a couple decades ago there was different entrances into here. A lot more people would come camp, dirt bike, have little parties, bonfires. Of course, I'm not lighting any more visible fires after that helicopter circled me all night. That creeped me out. I thought the fire truck was going to come to me. It would have been embarrassing. Yeah, I'm holding it real steady, and I get more camera equipment, something I can strap on my waist. Have a more of a third-person view. Walking around would be nice. I don't mind just making these first-person videos because I know it can be relaxing. Just look at some sunny scenery. And when you watch a lot of YouTube, you don't really know what you're trying to watch sometimes. So at least it's something. I've had YouTube for a while, but I just make music and I didn't have enough money to make any music videos, anything crazy like that, so I just, you know, I just use the AI free trials to generate, you know, just a flash clip type of animation for some AI images I already had. Just because I like to look at pictures while I listen to music. I think everyone said that. Everyone does. Not sure what type of tree those are called. Those are pretty cool though. Yeah, he drove through these. But you know, he's not a monster truck. You gotta have close to a monster truck. It doesn't have to be a full-on monster truck. But he just had a typical truck. And he must have been dark out. And he didn't see that, you know, since it rained, that one of those spots flooded that you usually go through without getting flooded. Yeah, I didn't hear him at all. I can't hear anything that happens over here. I wouldn't know the difference between the highway and someone having a bonfire over here, really. Unless they were really loud and crazy. Yeah, I want to show you the whole walk until I get down to the abandoned building. And then that's where I'll probably end this. It's not too bad of a walk. It's not as bad as I've had it before. I could save up some money, get an off-road e-bike, and then it'd be really easy to get out here. Now this trail right here, that's the one I was talking about with the guy that you go up that trail, he made another one that leads to this trail he broke with this trail breaker. I think it's funny right here, someone wrote invade on the post here. And I really don't want to assume who wrote it or anything, but if it was the guy that broke the trail with his trail breaker, it's kind of funny to imagine that maybe he was like, listening to some death metal or something while he breaking the trail, I don't know. I doubt that was the case. And who knows? I mean, that could be really old, that camper and that trail breaker. It could be old, the way it looks. Near the highway now. I always try to put my shirt on by this point, just in case some car peeks down, sees me walking here. The rest of the trail leads along the highway over to the neighborhood that I've been living in for years. This trail is frightening at night because of the spider webs. Last night, that was good. And there was one big spider with a big spider web, but he left an opening in it so I could pass the trail. And the other one that blocked the whole way, he wasn't there last night. Butterfly right there. There's another one. Yeah, the biggest spider I've seen back here is in another trail up ahead, but I don't feel like going down it. I don't know, I'm thinking about it. Maybe. I've got plenty of time. We'll check it out. I'll go see if that giant spider's still there. Not that far of a walk, so I'll do it. Yeah, I could have just bushwhacked over here. Made a nice camp out of sight. One, I don't like the spider. I don't know. I just like a lot more back there. This is just regular woods. Or next to some ponds and some sand. So I'm staying over there. I can handle this walk. Especially if I got the e-bike. Like, got a ways to go to that spider. And then what's the other one? I know that other spider was not there after I took you to it and it was gone. Yeah, a couple times I've seen people drive down this trail because they will take this one over to those main ponds. They just don't go down the other trail very often to that other lake. It was flooded. Once they find out it's not flooded, maybe someone will go camping over there. And as long as they're not out camping and digging through every single trail, they won't see me. If they do dig through every single trail and happen to find that trail, probably just see a tent. Same thing happened when I saw that dude's camper, I'll just, turn around, freak out a little bit, turn around. It's just weird when you run into somebody and you're in the middle of the woods like this. Everyone around here is friendly though. It's not a problem at all. Don't think I passed to the opening to the other trail yet. Haven't seen any snakes yet. I did see a pretty big yellow and black snake wouldn't budge. He wouldn't slither off. He just sat there on the trail staring at me, and eventually I just had to walk past him. I'm worried a morning hiker from the neighborhood will come up while I'm filming this. It looks cool. Okay, so yeah, that's the way that I leave. That's right down that hill, turns into the road. There's the trail that leads to a very big spider. And I just like these types of spiders. Keep my pace. So the video turns into a 40-minute long video. I'm not trying to do just kind of one of videos between 5 and 30 minutes long. Yeah, this was a spot I did consider camping, but then I went further down the trail, saw that spider. It was way too close, so saw a lot of ants, and that was my first night. My first night I came to this spot right here and considered it. But it's the eerie part of the woods. Definitely glad I kept looking for new spots, because I think I've got the best one now. I mean, the beach would be the best. The beach is the best spot, but I don't want too much action happening there. Okay, someone comes. Okay, I'm walking real slow now. He was right around the corner. Here he is. He's still here. Alright, we get to see, you guys get to see him. Finally get to show you. Let me, can you see it yet? I don't know where the camera's angled. Ooh, he's moving. That is terrifying. Yellow and black. Imagine having that one on you. He's so sharp. These things are just wild to me. I don't mind getting too little close to him. Yeah, that's a Floridian spider. It's not. It ain't no tarantula. Yeah, before when I came out here and ran into these, usually they were black and red. This one's yellow and black. Looks like he left the opening. Yeah, I can go this way. It leads to the same place. But I guess that is about it. There's not much left to record. I know there's an abandoned warehouse. Maybe I shouldn't show it. I don't know who owns it. I don't want to get in too much trouble. You already figured that I've dropped a couple of pieces of trash out here, not intentionally, but yeah, I'm trying to figure out a way to burn my trash. Yeah, this is just an access road. County owns this land. They're putting a water line in. They're building a new road around here somewhere. But yeah, that's the end of episode 7. And we'll see what happens in episode 8.